So the question is, how is this going to affect the U.S. intelligence community? Well, in terms of collection, in terms of analysis, in terms of dissemination, these are considered essential functions. At least they have been in years past, as we've seen other government shutdowns. So that work will not stop. What will stop? I'm told that building maintenance, HR, the non essential functions, those are where will see effects take place. So it's not going to have an operational effect, especially in the short term. And here's what Glenn Gerstell, former general counsel of the NSA from 2015 to 2020, told me. Quote, there is a distinction between overall operational effects of an organization, which in the NSA is probably to be minimal for short duration. But there is still a massive effect on individuals. People are either furloughed or told to work without pay. It's extremely demoralizing, and even for those who are working, their individual work pattern is disrupted. Conferences may be canceled. They may not be able to enter into contracts for essential supplies. So what sort of supplies could we be talking about here? This could mean anything from pencils to actual spy equipment. It could also mean not being able to go to meetings that are important for operations. The next question here is, how long is this going to last? Well, back in 2018, the partial government shutdown, it lasted for 35 days. And that was the longest in 40 decades. Is the rancor between the Republicans and the Democrats going to mean that this takes longer to sort out? And at what point are people in the intelligence community who are doing their jobs without pay going to be forced to stop if they can't make ends meet, if they can't pay their mortgages or their rents or their bills for their children and all of the things that we all face every single month? Or is there money that has been scrolled away by some of these agencies that can at least be some kind of stopgap measure? Now, keep in mind that members of the military will also not be paid unless Congress passes a law to have them continue to be paid. So in the NSA, there are the active duty military officers who are uniformed, obviously, and the civilian staff. And so if Congress passes this legislation, then that would allow the uniformed personnel to get paid, but that might not, unless it's included in what Congress passes, allow civil servants, say someone in a tailored access operation, some of the most sensitive hacking that the NSA does, they may not be getting paid. Now, I'm told that before these shutdowns happen, there is always a process in play, that there's always conversation between the people who are involved in operations, supervisors, as well as HR. They are identifying which programs and areas, which offices are essential, which are not essential, and that gets updated. So in the days leading up to this, plans were put in place. This didn't come as a surprise. But of course, nobody knows how long it's going to last. Here in Washington, D.C., having lived here for a very long time now, I can tell you that the shutdowns have a sort of cultural effect. You end up seeing more people walking down the street, in parks, at coffee shops. Restaurants and cafes offer discounts to furloughed employees. But this year feels different. I've spoken to people who say, am I still going to have a job? Am I going to get fired? Am I going to receive back pay when I go back? So these are the questions. I leave you here. I got to jump off and do an interview for Spycast, the International Spy Museum's podcast. If you enjoyed this video, then please consider becoming a paid subscriber, because that's how I'm able to keep doing this work. And take care of yourself. Bye, guys.